afternoon, South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you and Afternoon Express this fantastic Wednesday afternoon. Happy Hump Day. My name is Jeannie D. Now, today we're joined by influential businesswoman and author of From the Bedroom to the Boardroom by an amazing author, Princess Tsakani Nkambule. I'm dying to read that book, actually. And it's day 3, of course, of Win a Home on Afternoon Express, which is not only about showcasing the talent of our 3 design contestants and giving you, the viewer, a chance to win a luxurious apartment. But we also have a number of the country's top property design and decor experts joining us over the coming weeks to share their wealth of knowledge with us. In fact, I mean, when they're here, I'm going to be trying to redecorate and renovate my home just to get all of their information from them as well for free. So today we meet one such expert right here in the loft, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And Danilo is, of course, in the kitchen.
Indeed, I'm making something super delicious for you guys today on Afternoon Express. But before we get into what we're making, I must tell you that on social media, we're so excited to hear from you on the show today. And it's particularly because it's a topic that everybody is talking about at the moment. As you know, that 90% local quote on all radio stations across the SABC platforms has been implemented for a few days now. And we're really keen to find out how you're finding it. Have you been tuning into the radio stations? What do you think? Good thing, bad thing? Has it really improved your radio listening? Are you staying listening longer? Are you supporting the local market? We'd love to know from you. So go and find us at Afternoon Chat on Twitter and tweet us using that hashtag Afternoon Express, or you can go and comment on our Facebook page. Afternoon Express is our Facebook page. Otherwise, obviously, Instagram. I don't think you can comment much on Instagram there. So speaking about delicious food on the show today, it's time for us to get into what we're making. We've got a guest chef with us. Cami Pep Low was about to take it down low with a lovely apple crumble thing that we're making in the loft today. What exactly is it?
Hi, it is a honey crunch apple, which is exclusive to Woolies. Honey crunch apple and berry crumble. Oh. But the crumble has hazelnuts in it as well as some cinnamon, so a really perfect dessert for winter. Oh,
it sounds so delicious. I'm looking forward to cooking with you, by the way, because I'm a terror in this kitchen, so I hope you're ready for abuse.
I don't believe you.
We're going to get our hands dirty. If you want to get your hands dirty too, go to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. That's where you guys can go and get the recipe and the shopping list for this delicious, delicious recipe right here on Afternoon Express. So we're making royalty in the kitchen. I hear there's royalty on the couch too.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Her Royal Highness Princess Tsakani Nkambule is the daughter of Limpopo's Queen, Hosi Namitwa II, and a former educator, a motivational speaker, and an established businesswoman. Currently, she's the first chairperson of the Limpopo Businesswomen Association of South Africa, BOASA. She's also the author of From the Bedroom to the Boardroom, which is about how women can be powerful and win anywhere. Welcome to the loft, Princess. Lovely to have you with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Now, you wear many hats. You're an educator, a motivator, and a businesswoman. How were you able to diversify your purpose in this way, and how was your journey getting here?
Growing up was just like any other child. Went to school, did what all other kids were doing, but I think I always had the business sort of acumen.
Yes.
At a very young age. I started selling goods at the age of 10. I remember selling pawpaws, selling oranges, and even when I was at varsity, I would sell. I mean, I was from a middle-class family, but I just
so you didn't need the money; you just enjoyed the business.
I enjoyed, clinching a deal. So I've always been making my own money at that young age.
Incredible.
And then the other hat, which is the motivational speaking. I love sharing with women. I love listening to other women. And I think that's what we have to do at all times. So the motivational speaking, I started off about maybe 15 years ago because I've always been part of business organizations. Because that is a platform where you can share ideas and experiences and learn from other people. Before we started, I was saying to you, with the book, is something that I think like many people, you always say, what, I would like to write a book because you realize that when you speak to women, when you invite them to speak, there's not enough time to share what you want to share. And a book is one way of doing it. But in life, there's no perfect time. But maybe there's a sort of a right time.
Right.
But now, because I'm sort of a half mother.
Yeah, because your children are grown up, you said, and then all 3 of them have left. 4 of them have left the home now.
Yes. So it's easy now. You can organize your time better, but still, you need to be disciplined. Because otherwise you can still have a lot of time but not do much about it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how everything came together. And like Margaret Albright says, women can do everything, but not all at the same time.
We like to think we can sometimes, and that's how we get burnt out.
Yes, yes.
You are very passionate about developing women in business. Why is this important? Why is a body like BOASA also imperative in this process?
Look, Businesswoman of South Africa is one of those key organizations that are important in terms of empowerment of women, because we all know that as women, despite the programs that have been brought by government, I mean, there's even legislation as well.
Yes.
Somehow, the empowerment of women or the progress in that regard is very slow.
It's slow.
It's slow. So, therefore, as women, we need a platform where we need programs, our own programs, which will assist us to move a bit further. So I'm very passionate because I think as women, we have all what it takes to be exceptional. We have all what it takes to make it in the bedroom. The bedroom is a whole home environment, family and kids, and also in the boardroom. The boardroom, it's the actual boardroom, but invariably extends to the whole work environment. So we can make it in both. We just need to share those experiences because in the country we have a pool of remarkable women who have made it, in business, in politics, in other areas. So we just need to talk to each other, learn from each other.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, the Princess Tsakani Foundation also contributes to entrepreneurial development by holding annual symposiums. What happens at the symposiums?
At times, as a province, we do not have enough entrepreneurs around us to motivate us, especially the youth. So what we do during the symposium, the foundation invites successful businessmen and women to come and speak to our youth, motivate them, because, we are living in a different era. When we were growing up, I think things were a bit easier, but now we are living in a global and competitive world. So it's very important that the youth learn that, it's not business as usual. You need to innovate, you need to do research. You can't just, you're competing with the whole world.
Wow.
So that is why I think it's very important that, we create those platforms where we can encourage the youth to know that in business, you can make it.
Yeah. What are some of the statistics around how fast women are growing in business? And if it sounds slow, why is it so slow? What's holding us back?
Okay, according to BOASA statistics, because we do an annual research every year. I think in terms of the executive managers countrywide, we're standing at about a mere 24%. And then directors level, we're looking at even about 17%. So, and worldwide, the picture is not all that different, according to Grant Thornton research. So, and all this is despite all the programs, government programs. Things are a bit slow. I think as a society, we're slow to change. And according to the BWASA, if we wait as women, we wait for government, we wait for legislation.
For everyone else to fall in line.
We'll wait for forever. 3 to 4 decades for equality to happen.
Sure. Thank you so much, Princess Beatrice, for joining us. But we're not done. When we return, we'd like to talk about your amazing book. So we're going to take a short break, but when we return, more inspiration from Princess Beatrice. We'll be right back, so don't go away.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, don't forget, we're running a Glade Grand Prize competition. If you want to stand a chance of winning the prize, consisting of a bed makeover and consultation from the incredible Debbie Hall, a paragliding session, a Glade gift hamper, and newly added to the package, a sunset champagne cruise for 2 from Waterfront Adventures, all to the value of 22,890 Rand. All you need to do is SMS the word Glade and your name and city to 33728. Check out T's and C's on afternoonexpress.co.za.
So, South Africa, we'd love to hear from you on Afternoon Express today. Because we're live, I need you to give us a call, tweet us, Facebook us. Recently, as you know, the SABC, all the radio stations across the board have been implementing 90% local music. And it's been a few days, and there's been a lot of ups and downs. People have loved it or hated it. And I'm really keen to hear how the experience has been for you. So if you want to give us a call right now, 083-913-3728 is the number you can dial to chat to us live on air. Otherwise, find us on the social media sites. We're asking you the question of how you've experienced that 90% local quota. It's at Afternoon Chat on Twitter, and on Facebook, it's Afternoon Express. We'd love to hear from you. Share all your comments. We'll be chatting about it live on the show today. So if you want to hear your voice or to get your comments read out live on air, make sure you get hold of us right now. It's time for us to get back to the princess on the couch.
We're back on the couch with businesswoman, author and motivational speaker, Her Royal Highness Princess Beatrice. You're very passionate about the emancipation of women. Can you share some gems from your journey, the personal experiences with your journey to full emancipation?
I think as women, there's one thing that I always say to women, that I think we are responsible for our own success more than we care to admit. As much as there are all these problems and challenges, as a woman, if you step up, look around, you will sort of get ahead. I remember when I started business before 1994, and it was quite hard. 94, things became much easier, but I think many women missed the boat. Because at that time, I think there was even that big move to have women as part of the organization. And we were invited to be, that's how we started. And when we started, we were not even sure whether you're just a number or, you're not sure.
Yes.
But then you realize that, okay, whichever way I have to learn. I did science at school. So it was a new territory for me, but what I knew is that I need to learn what I need to learn for me to get ahead.
Yes.
So it's a lot of learning that can be achieved on your own, because there's a lot, you can attend seminars, you can read books, but at times as women, we do not do that enough. So I think that's one thing that that has stand me in good stead. And also through interviewing the 25 powerful, remarkable women for the book, I realized that most of them are self-starters. They have taken the plunge.
At the right time.
So I think even in my businesses, that's what I've done. You look around and see what's around. Okay, that area is saturated. I would like to go into that business. I might not know enough. Who can I get to mentor me?
Yes. Where do I find this information?
So I think that's what has helped me in my career as a business person.
How do we, further gain confidence in our abilities? Because sometimes the same fight that happens in the boardroom is also happening at home.
Yes.
There's an idea. Some people are married to men who won't allow them into that space. And then you're also trying to be a mother, and you're working. How do you gain this confidence in your abilities and start making the right choices?
In the book, one thing that I say profoundly is that the rules are the same in the bedroom and the boardroom.
They are.
They are the same. The anchor is the same.
Yes.
Obviously, the rules are softer in the bedroom. But you as a person, I need to know how to communicate with my spouse, with my kids. Obviously, same thing in the boardroom. But obviously, boardrooms are competitive by nature, the work environment. So, you have to learn, how to adapt in the boardroom. For example, most of the women that I interviewed, Dr. Judith Lamini says in the book, I would like to meet a woman who has never been ignored in a boardroom.
Wow.
So it happens. You need to know, what do I do? You can't start screaming and shouting, but you need to know, what do I do to gain that respect that I deserve in the boardroom? Because men will size you up. It still happens.
Yes.
Maybe not as much as before, but it does still happen. You are ignored in the boardroom, your ideas, and then somebody steals your idea. So we have to learn, how to handle the boardroom. In the boardroom as well, obviously, we like I said earlier on, when your kids are younger, we've got choices as women. You can be single, pursue a brilliant career.
Yeah.
Don't get married. It's okay. Decide to have kids. Kids will slow you down a bit. That's a fact.
Of course.
I have 4, I know. They will slow you down a bit, but
I've
catch
got
up.
2, I know.
Yeah. But you'll be able to catch up as long as you don't, you stay in there. Or you can decide to be a stay-at-home mom. It's your choice. It's okay. But
And it's okay, yes.
what is important is that you must know the consequences, intended and unintended, which is very important. I think that's where we miss it. But you must always listen to your inner voice. That's who you are.
Yes.
So obviously the dynamics are, they're different in terms of, who you are. But we always, in the book I say as well that as a woman, actually that's Gina Clifford and many other women said, if you can try not to get married at a young age, know yourself first. So that you can get to a point where you say, you know what, I've got a checklist for the type of man that I want.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
You have to get to that level.
Absolutely.
Because I do not think, and it's the truth, if I did not have a supportive partner, I'll be even sitting here.
Yes, you're so right. I mean, those are such crucial, that's crucial information that young women don't get told enough.
Yes.
And you also mentioned common money mistakes that women make that prevent their financial freedom. What are some of these?
Sure. At times, as a businesswoman, I might not charge what I'm worth. You always want to, you know what, I don't want to be too expensive. It's also one mistake. We think that men know better than us. So you buy the curtains and the cups, and the man will decide, I'm buying this house. So when the marriage
So we leave the bigger, overarching financial decisions to the men.
To the men. And not necessarily that the man might not even know better than you, by the way. Just because he's a man, you should be, as a couple, you should be working around those things together. Because otherwise you end up buying the curtains and the teaspoons. So when the marriage breaks down, you take the curtains and the teaspoon, but you don't have a house. So there are lots of mistakes. At times we risk averse, which is good, but at times we do not even, you're so scared of risk. You end up not doing anything.
Yeah.
And business is about calculated risk.
Yes.
We've made mistakes, we've lost money,
Yes.
but you learn, you move on.
And speaking of business,
Yes.
how do you talk about playing to win? How do we play to win in the business world?
You have to play to win. It doesn't matter what's happening in your life. You have to thrive to do more, to do better. And business is business, hey. At times business might go south, which has happened to me.
Okay.
What we do not do at times as women, we do not think of the exit strategy in business. Exit strategy can be positive or negative. In a positive way, let's start with the positive way, because that's how you play to win as well. In a positive way, when you start your business, whatever it is that you're starting,
Okay.
I've learned one thing from my mentor from day one: systemize your business. Build in structures and processes that will allow your business to run without you. We don't do that very well. So that your business is scalable, you can build upon it,
Okay.
and there's got strong cash flows. If you do that, it becomes easier to sell that business. So you're playing to win. You can sell your business, make money, invest, take a little bit, start another one.
Start another one.
If you look at the history of very wealthy people, that's what they do. They built something from nothing, built in systems, built in structures, and then they sell. And the other side is, if a business fails, what do? At times as women, we want to sink with the ship, simply because we keep a business for reasons that have got nothing to do with profit.
Like what?
No, I love this. I love what I'm doing. I started this business with nothing. The business is...
We get sentimental. Do we get more sentimental and emotional about
Yes. So at
business?
times we need to remove emotions. If a business is not doing well, you need to plan. How far am I going to go? If it's really not doing well, I always say, men, they liquidate, protect their assets,
Quit while they're ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we should do that as women as well.
We should.
Because not many women, women will wait to be liquidated. And when they will liquidate you,
It's painful.
It's painful because, the process is different. They're going to they can take anything that you have. But
Yes.
if I liquidate, not myself, liquidate the business, as long as my assets are protected.
Wow, wow.
So you have to play to win, whether the business is doing well or not.
Or not.
By following those simple rules.
Yes, thank you so much, Princess. You're a wealth of information. I could sit with you forever.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Today we're giving away Princess Beatrice's book, From the Bedroom to the Boardroom, which covers much of what we've spoken about today. Simply SMS the keyword books, your name and city to 33728 to stand a chance of winning. SMSs cost R1.50, T's and C's apply, and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. So we're in the kitchen today and it's all about to get loads and loads of fun. That makes no sense, but it's all about to become lots and lots of fun right here on the show today because we're making something that you have to serve every time you serve somebody tea or coffee, and that is an apple crumble. And the thing about apple crumbles is that it's always yummy. So no matter which one you try, it is going to be super delicious, but today we're going to show you how to make it even better than the previous ones that your granny or grandma might have served you, right?
Yes.
Cool, so how do we get going, Cami?
So we can start with our apples. So we're going to cut our apples into quarters, but what you can do for now actually is make the crumble.
Oh.
So I'm going to help you get low with that crumble.
You see what you did? I don't think you guys realize that her surname is Pep Low, and she's pretty excited about the fact that she's trying to outpun me on the show today. Let's see if this works out well. You've got the knife. I'll step back. Okay, so how do I do the crumbing?
Okay, so basically what you have to do is add the flour and the sugar to the bowl.
It's flour and sugar, brown sugar. Using treacle here?
No, we're actually using demerara sugar.
Demerara, cool.
Yeah.
And oats?
No, we're not
Not yet.
adding the oats
Okay.
just yet. We're going to add that later. And now what you can do is mix in... I see we don't have a spoon, but can you use that spoon over
Sure,
there?
I can.
Yeah, so you can just stir it in to mix through well.
Cool.
While I cut up our apples here.
Yeah, so you're cutting them into quarters. Obviously, let them in a bit of water so that they don't go brown. I get
Yes.
that. Oh, why apple crumble? Are you a big fan?
I do like it, but this one particularly, it has hazelnuts in the actual crumble, so you get that beautiful roasted nut flavor, which is great.
Yummy.
But I see that your flour and your sugar is almost combined. You
Yes.
can just add the butter and then slowly start to rub that in with your fingers. So
Oh,
you
yay!
Yes.
I'm actually really glad to be cooking with you on the show today because a lot of our chefs have got these elaborate recipes that they need to make and they never let me do anything. So, I need myself
So
ready
I'm
for
going to
you.
help you get low.
Oh, yeah. You just rub this in here.
Yes, so you just rub it in until it resembles breadcrumbs. So what happens there is that you are actually coating the fat in flour. So you're just going to bring that up, and you can even bring your hands up a little bit just to incorporate some air.
I'm being told what to do here. Okay, so it's even there's this style of rubbing in butter to your breadcrumbs. Okay.
Yes. And then on my side, I'm busy with the honey crunch apples, and these apples are particularly amazing for baking.
So you like
because,
them apples?
You know.
Yeah.
But so these apples are actually they're quite firm and they're juicy, so they work perfectly for baking.
Nice. Okay.
So even though we're going to bake the crumble for quite a long period of time, it's still going to maintain its beautiful shape and flavor as well.
Okay, good stuff.
And then they are also sustainably and locally farmed, so you can eat them with a good conscience.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, like any dessert has been eaten with a good conscience. I think it's
No,
for
this
other
one will
reasons. So that's
be.
good stuff.
This one will be.
Good to know. Eating yummy desserts, getting slightly too much sugar into your system and saving the environment at the same time.
You know, that's how we roll. So, and now what you can do, since that is quite nicely combined, you can add the oats.
Okay. Oh, can you add those in for me? Because otherwise I'm really going to be making a mess in here. Cool.
No problem.
Yummy. Cool.
And then we want to add the hazelnuts.
Cool.
So the hazelnuts we do need to chop a bit. So if you
Will you
don't
make some space
mind,
for you?
please.
Let me
if
do this
don't
for you.
mind.
I'll do this from here. I'll shift that forward.
And the
This
hazelnuts
is
are
super
gonna go-
exciting. I cannot tell you how excited I am actually about being in the kitchen with you because I'm first time in a long time that I've managed to get my hands dirty. So you just boss me around. I like being
Yeah.
bossed around in the kitchen. Well, only in the kitchen.
Okay. Okay, so what we're going to add to that crumble now is some cinnamon. So we just add a little bit of cinnamon for
Yeah.
flavor.
Oh, yum.
Okay, now you can continue mixing.
I'm really
that.
liking the smells that are in here already. It all smells so delicious.
Yeah, it already smells like a perfect winter dessert.
Yes, yes. So I know my mom's family is from Eastern Europe, right?
Okay.
And I obviously never knew what an apple crumble was because we always used to call it appelstrudel. or something?
But strudel is something different.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, awkward. I've been always trying to be like, does anyone have apple strudel, thinking it's like a apple crumble?
Strudel is something that is made with pastry.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, crumble is with literally a crumble on the top.
I have a best friend of mine from university who would only eat apple crumble. I'm not a big fan of cooked fruits until he used to start introducing me to things like apple crumble.
Okay, so we must be careful not to overmix it too much because we don't want to mix up the flour and the butter. So we can just set that aside.
Cool.
But while we wait, I just need to finish portioning these apples.
Sure, they're working quite slowly in the kitchen today. I see. No, I see how this is going to work.
You said this wouldn't be easy.
This is going to be an oven dish, obviously. We don't have to show everyone how to do the whole thing. We can just kind of give people a snippet of how it's all put together.
Okay.
So I'm guessing this is all going to have to be baked in the oven at some point, right?
Yes, no, it has to be baked in the oven at 180 for around 40 minutes. So that 40 minutes will really allow the apples and the berries to cook together very nicely.
Cool. Fantastic. So what I'm going to let you do is I'm going to let you continue to chop those up, and we'll show everyone how to put those into the sort of dishes, get into the oven, and show what it looks like when it comes out of the oven.
Perfect.
Deal.
Perfect.
Fantastic. So if you guys want to get this delicious recipe, it is on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. There you can also find the shopping list for the amazing dish we're making on the show today. It's an apple crumble, but with such a nice cinnamony twist. It is really, really going to blow your guests away if you want to make it in the kitchen. It's almost 90% done. And speaking about things that are sort of 90%, I've got dirty fingers, but I wanted to talk to you about the sort of 90% quota thing that we've had on the radio station.
Yes.
Are you a big radio listener?
I am a huge radio listener, but I'm also a huge South African music fan.
Yes.
So I really don't mind what this is doing for our local music industry because, A, our musicians are able to make a lot more money, as well as I think a lot, what happens on radio stations a lot in South Africa is that we hear a song and then months later we'll interview the artist and so many people go, oh my goodness, I didn't know it was local. So this is surely a way to identify with all of the talent that we have in South Africa. But then it's got to be good. I have switched my radio off a few days this week.
I think some of the artists will now start to put their music on records. They'll start to get themselves registered on SAMRO and the music will end up on the radio station. So it's a nice kick in the bum for all of those artists who are quite lazy and not getting themselves
What's the
registered.
response been like on your show on radio?
So people have loved it, to be honest. The station that I work on has got this huge love for local radio as it is already, and there's a lot of really good house and hip-hop being produced as well. So we've got a really positive response. I've had one or two people who have said it happened too quickly, like they wanted it to happen slightly more staggered, but it's not about what we think, really, to be honest.
Let's have a look and see and what you think about it. So on Twitter, we've got a tweet from @Roman_Fenty, and he says, I am loving it. This means growth for our local artists. It's about time we support our brothers and sisters. Absolutely. And then Kule Nwake says, so far I'm loving it because of the new talent that will be spotted. Exactly. That's a really good point, actually, is now a whole lot of new young emerging artists will have the opportunity to be funded to be able to make music and get playlisted on a top radio station.
And all the compilers from all the radio stations are going to have to be a lot more clever to go out and look for new talent. So they're not just going to get lazy and wait for the labels to bring them stuff. Here's what's happening on Facebook. Faisal Mula says, I am in full support of local music and its promotion. The SABC cannot, however, force the public to listen to local music. Create stations designated to play 100% local music. So obviously it's 90% instead of 100%. But I think maybe what needs to happen is a slightly more staggered approach to sort of getting it to that point.
On that note, we don't need a staggered approach. You know, when you travel to other countries in the world and you listen to their local radio stations, chances are you're listening to local music there. So they're just uplifting their own economy and their own talent. And I think it's a brilliant idea. Yeah,
as long as I hope it hasn't been a shock factor, I think, for everybody. Anyway, it's really good to have this conversation. We'll have more of this after the break. It's also time for Win at Home on Afternoon Express as we meet our property finance expert. Don't go anywhere. Oh man, it's that time again. Welcome back to Afternoon Express, and it's time for Win a Home right here on Afternoon Express, where we follow our 3 talented young design contestants as they turn 3 empty apartments into dream homes at the Polo Village at Valdevie Estate in the Cape Winelands. And the best part is that you, the viewer, stand a chance of winning one of the completed apartments, which is valued at over 3 million rand. So with Win a Home, this could be your new neighborhood.
I'm Rick Nedling. I'm an Olympic gold medalist and shareholder and marketing director of Oldavie Estate, which recently acquired Pearl Valley Estate. I've been living in the beautiful Paul Franschhoek Valley for the last 5 years. We are situated right in the heart of the Cape Winelands. Security is our #1 priority, and it's something we work on every day. And this has earned us the reputation of being the safest estate in Africa. The lifestyle that this area has to offer truly is country living at its best. We're just 5 minutes away from the historic town of Paarl. Paarl really is an incredible area to explore, with little gems like the Spice Route and Fairview Farms. But the biggest attraction is the excellent schools. Franschhoek, on the other hand, is a major international tourist destination, and also known as the culinary capital of South Africa, with a diverse offering for every palate and occasion. Our recent acquisition of Pearl Valley is a major game changer for us. Our residents can now enjoy a wide range of amenities unmatched anywhere else in the world. There's the world-famous Jack Nicklaus signature golf course, which is consistently ranked among the top golf courses in South Africa. And there are some beautiful properties on the course. Oldavie really is the ideal family environment. We also cater to equestrian lovers with facilities on offer for every discipline, from the 2 Hurlingham Standard Polo Fields to our state-of-the-art equestrian centres and miles of trails. Our horses live in paradise too. Oldavie has its own wine farm and cellars, producing award-winning wines which every resident can be proud of. I've been blessed to travel the world, but this is the place I come home to. I'm sure you can see why we call it the Valley of Life. And this is my neighborhood.
And what a neighborhood it is. Now, we're very excited to announce that tomorrow afternoon we'll be joined by Rick Nedling, along with his fiancée, former Miss Canada, Sahar Binyaz, in the loft. Now, Winner Home is not only about showcasing the hot design talent South Africa has to offer, but if you are in the market for a new home, whether it's your first or second home, it can be quite a daunting task. I mean, it is very stressful. Each week on Winner Home, we bring you the country's top experts in the field of property, finance, design, and decor. Trust me, all of those things you need to know when buying a home. Now, today we introduce you, however, to a man you will become quite familiar with over the coming weeks.
Now, buying a home is a life-changing event for most people, and it can be quite complex and when one is not sure where and how to start. We have Tim Akinnisu with us in the loft, who is the head of home loan sales and client value management at Nedbank Home Loans, to talk us through some of the key considerations when one has to look at when to buy property. Welcome to the loft, Tim. Lovely to have you with us.
Thank you.
Wow, this is such a nerve-wracking topic for me because it's so, I feel like only the experts can get it right.
Yeah, well, the experts are still learning, so...
Right?
Yeah.
So when one is considering to buy a home for the first time, what should they be thinking about?
I think firstly they need to understand their personal readiness. So they need to look at their relationship with credit, because that's the first thing that banks would look at when you go to a bank for funding. So how have you managed your ability to make repayments on small things like your credit cards, clothing accounts, etc., etc. Then from there, you need to start to look at your affordability, because you need to look at what you can afford, not just in the short term, but over a period of time. So we have affordability calculators that you could use to find that out. So in essence, it's your expenses minus your surplus, and that kind of gives you a range of what you could afford. Then thirdly, you need to start to look at how much savings that you've had, because there's some costs involved. The cost of initiating a loan, and obviously when you are in this dream home of yours, you then need to make sure that you can maintain it. So things like electricity bills, your levies, rates and taxes, etc. So that's then key. And then lastly, your life stage. So what stage are you in your life? Because when you buy a property, you need to buy it for the correct life stage if it's your primary unit. So if you're a bachelor, you want to typically be looking at a bachelor pad or a 1-bedroom place to start off with, and kind of gauge to say, are you going to be in this house for a couple of years? And if you're looking to then, settle down, you may want to look for something slightly bigger. So consider your life stage and how soon you are likely to evolve. before then committing yourself to a property.
Now, speaking of life stage, what about the house? What should be considered when you're buying a house?
So certainly...
Or the type of house that you're buying.
Yeah, so you could either buy a house in an estate or a standalone, which will imply that you're buying in a sectional title if it's in an estate, or a standalone that's a full title. So I think key considerations will be things like security, amenities, where you work, where you socialize, and also what you're looking to get out of the property. Is it your primary residence, or are you looking at it from an investment standpoint? Because that would determine whether or not you decide to personalize it or to keep it quite, I suppose, quite classic.
Right.
Yeah.
And what role does the bank play in this whole process and your relationship with your bank?
So as a bank, the role that we play is obviously to help you fund a place. And part of the funding process is also about educating you to understand exactly what channels you can use to acquire a home loan, what costs you need to be looking at to consider. And, and then obviously as you go along, you can become a little bit more sophisticated in terms of your use of the place, or in terms of your use of the home loan. So you could either prepay into it as a good way to create a little bit of a slush fund for you whenever you need additional funding. And also, when you've eventually paid that off, hopefully the property has appreciated in value, so that when you buy your next place, you have a nice deposit to put down, which will help you manage the loan to value and the rate that we give you in your next place.
Wow. So how has Nedbank partnered continuously with home buyers in the past 20 years?
We've got a long history with being able to fund people's homes, many South African homes. And for us, what we've tried to do over the last 20 years is constantly make sure that anybody that takes out a bond from us is able to sustain that and to ensure that this continues to be an asset for them over the long term. So part of our strategy is to create easy channels for people to get access to a bond, to create a lot of education around the various options they have for property. So they can either do a buy-to-let, you can either buy property for investment, or choose to build something. So we've tried to make sure that we cater for everybody's needs at whatever life stage that they're at that point in time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tim.
It's a pleasure.
So make sure when you're buying a home, you understand all the associated costs and do your homework properly. For more information, you can go to www.nedbank.co.za/home loans and read up on their buyer's guide.
It's one of my favorite things about working on Afternoon Express is I get to do my homework right here in the loft, learning all things thanks to Nedbank for that. So we're so excited to have Winner Home right here on Afternoon Express for an exciting third season of Exquisite Design. Every weekday we follow our talented design contestants as they turn 3 empty properties at the Valdevie Estate in the Cape Winelands into dream homes using finishes provided by Caesarstone and Plascon. And the best part is that you can stand a chance to win the grand prize competition. You can enter on privateproperty.co.za for a chance to win a finished apartment valued at over 3 million rand. We're going to make you a millionaire, basically. So Winner Home is proudly brought to you by Private Property in association with Nedbank. After the break, we put the finishing touches on our apple, berry, and hazelnut crumble. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Hump Day right here on Afternoon Express. It's downhill to the weekend, and that means you're allowed to eat as much sugar as you want. Today we're making a delicious apple crumble with mixed berries thrown into it. And Cami is our guest chef today. And so we didn't get people to show everyone how to sort of finish off the final dish before it goes into the oven. So tell us what you've done here.
Okay, so basically we've tossed those apples that we sliced up and some berries, and these berries are actually frozen, so they're available all year round, and they they taste amazing,
So
as if they would
that's
fresh.
a very, very nice fact you just threw in there. I'm really
I see what you
impressed.
did there.
Thanks, yeah. So that will go into the oven and it comes out looking like?
Like that.
Like
yeah,
this. Okay, so this is a baked
exactly
one.
like that.
It's still warm. Okay, that's good.
Yes,
What's
okay.
next?
And then in the meantime, what I'm going to do is make a cinnamon mascarpone, which is going to accompany our dessert.
Ooh,
so
yummy.
if you don't mind, could you just add some icing sugar in there
Sure,
for
I can
me?
indeed. Tell me how much you want. Do you want all of this to go thrown in here?
No, we're going to reserve some aside to sprinkle over our dessert.
You just say when.
Okay, you can stop.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you. Thanks. And then would you also put a little bit of cinnamon in here as well?
Sure. I'm just going to tap it from the bottle because I think that's probably the easiest way.
Yeah.
How much
Not
do you
too
want?
much. We
Say
don't want
when.
it to be too overpowering.
Say
I
when.
trust you. You can
Good.
do it.
Only thing I've ever made with mascarpone is ice cream, and that is delicious. So I'm
Okay,
looking
that's
forward
enough,
to
thanks.
trying another recipe
Yeah.
with mascarpone.
Mascarpone is an Italian...
Mascarpone, sepone.
Mascarpone.
Much better, Cammy. You're very good. You can
So-
stay here.
So it's an Italian full cream cheese, and basically it's not only good for sweet application, which is what people always use it for,
Yes.
but it's really good for savory application as well. So whether you serve it on a meze platter drizzled with some olive oil or peppers and things, it's really good served up like that.
I don't see any ring on the finger. Is there one? Just wondering, you see, because she's like making these delicious dishes and using them for savoury things.
Oh my.
I could come home to some delicious dinners. Why not? Okay, that looks delicious.
That's
This
a bit inappropriate.
Yeah, it is. We're serving this on the side, right? So this is not
Yes,
going to go into
we
actual...
are serving it on the side.
Okay, yummy.
That's perfect. So
do you want to
we
show me what to
should-
do with that? So you can actually show me, because
Okay, no problem.
Desserts
so,
are not my
since
forte.
it's just come out the oven, we're just going to sprinkle it with a little bit of icing sugar to finish it
yummy.
off.
Yes, to give it a nice, outside layer.
Yeah,
Delish!
no, it's really perfect. And I tell you, the flavor of those roasted hazelnuts are perfect. They're perfect.
I can't wait
But
to go and
let's
see it.
over
Should we
and
take it across?
taste it? Yes.
Let's go see what Jeannie thinks. If you guys want to get this recipe, it's on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. You can also find the shopping list for everything we make on the show right over there. It's a wealth of knowledge. I know Jeannie every night goes home and is like, what's for dinner? And goes to Google it and then finds out.
I actually just eat here in the loft, to be honest. So I don't have to cook. This looks amazing. I'm quite happy to have apple crumble for dinner, actually.
For
Why
dinner?
not?
Yeah, why
well, while
not?
she dishes that up, I'd like to
Sure.
read some more comments that we found on our social media sites. Tulani Mashele was saying, yes, I'm loving it because it, actually, you're talking about the 90% local content,
Yes.
by the way. It opens doors for young and up-and-coming artists and creates a platform for some record labels as well as producers. And I think we really do agree with that. It's kind of pushing them towards it. But Tobile says, not loving it because stations play old music and they are not giving exposure to new talent, a platform intended to expose new local talent. But it'll take time.
No, can I tell you what happened the other day on 5FM? I was listening to the Roger Good show, and he played Springbok Nude Girls Bubblegum, and I loved
yes.
it. But also, they've got to create equal content for the kind of music that they've got to play. They can't just play hip-hop or something. So they've got to just encourage more rock stars
Diversity.
to make rock music and have more of a diverse genres.
Absolutely, but I think it'll also take time. I think everyone's been talking about the fact that there's not enough new music. Well, give it time. These artists are now starting to get into the process of saying, wow, there's a new business that I can go and do.
May I have a spoon, please?
You may.
I love a good spoon.
Yeah, just spoon her.
But I'm going to taste this now.
Thank you so much.
And I'm going to be the judge if this is any good today.
Tell me.
I can't get it in my mouth fast enough.
Because it's
Am I
like,
supposed to eat it as
yes,
well?
go for it. You're the chef. Taste your own food. Is it yum?
Oh, this is delicious. It's very crumbly, but it's fantastic. Make sure you make this, but we'll see you in the loft again tomorrow at 4 p.m. on SABC3. Until then, good night
Right,
and
happy
happy
eating.
Good.
Yummy.
Wow, this is good.
Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we get to know our winner home mentors a little bit better, and Rake Neertling, Olympic gold medalist and marketing director of Boardroom, joins us in the loft.
The hottest address on TV is Winner Home on Afternoon Express. Proudly brought to you by Private Property in association with Nedbank.
Another feel-good production.
Hi YouTubers, thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to us. Join the Afternoon Express family by subscribing to our channel right here. And we'll keep you up to date with all our recipes and of course our fabulous episodes. Also, feel free to leave a comment and share this video. We do love it when you express yourself.